What's up, everybody? So I'm going live special. There's a few things going on and I just kind of want to touch down on before they start. But as always, you guys know it is Tuesday night and the Snobs podcast live is going to be on at 9 p.m. You can go check it out there or listen to it anytime or watch it anytime over on our YouTube channel or any podcast platform. So make sure you check that out. We have some very cool topics tonight. We have a very special guest. Gerard is going to join us. We're going to be talking about, we're going to continue the MCU main storyline, and we're going to talk about what school system looks like in the world of the MCU. That will be our main. We're also going to talk about Shakespeare and its influence on pop culture today, not 25 years ago, not 10 years ago, but today, and if it's still warranted or needed. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a big debate on that one, and we're also going to be giving our best geek parenting advice. So that's all tonight at 9 p.m. Right now, as you guys know, Geek Fest Live is an impromptu show where we go live and talk about new upcoming things, rumors, updates, theories, things like that. So you can always join us there. It's always on our YouTube channel, but today I've kind of thrown it out there, put it on our Facebook and everything else. But if we would appreciate it if you'd head over to our YouTube channel and hit subscribe. It's a big help with a lot of things going on. So there's some big news coming out, and I wanted to talk about this today. Let's see who's joining us real quick. Radar, what's going on, buddy? Thank you. Jason, I saw your initial, and always a great show. Appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Kathleen is here. Look forward to the parenting advice. Yeah, make sure you check in tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. And it's a geek parenting advice. So that's the best part. It's how to handle raising a child when you're a geek. And, like, when do you get them started on Star Wars and other things like that. It's going to be a lot of fun. But we will have tips like that. You can make it the earlier topic so I don't fall asleep first. Nope, you got to stay with us the whole time. It's going to be a lot of fun. And, this was my next announcement. Aaron is on. Aaron is the host of Horror with Sir Sturdy, which I will be on tonight from 8 p.m. to 8:45. Make sure you check that out. And if you stick with that show, I ain't mad at you. But make sure to check out the Snobs podcast after. So, okay. Guys, there's a lot of things going on. And the reason I'm doing this today, because usually I don't like to load up on my Tuesdays. I like to get ready for the Scene Snobs. But I had a chance to be on Horror with Sir Sturdy, so I'm super excited for that. I always love talking horror with those guys. And they're talking about very cool movies tonight. Society is one of them, and I cannot wait to hear what they think about the shunting. We'll get to that, though. Make sure you join in over on their channel. But I had to go live. Tomorrow we get I almost called it this, but I'm going to call it by its right title. The Book of Boba Fett, not Mandalorian 2.5. So I need to talk about this because there's a heavy rumor coming out, and I want to see what you guys think. As always, Geek Fest Live is an open forum show. If you have topics you guys want to discuss, things like that, you always let me know. And also on our Patreon, all of our Patreon supporters, anytime they have a topic, you can throw it out on Patreon, message me, and I will go live and talk about it. May not be right at that second, but if you have a topic you want to see talked about on Geek Fest Live, our Patreon supporters get first come, first serve dibs on that. But if you always join in, we're going to have a good time. So remember, if you are watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and tell your friends. Let them come over and have some fun with it too. We truly appreciate it. So we know after last week when we had Mando show up on Book of Boba Fett, he's going to see Grogu. That's a foregone conclusion. He already said it. I got a little friend to go see, and it's setting something up. Well, the heavy rumors are that we are going to see Luke Skywalker again. But now there's some more. We might get a Han Solo appearance, maybe even a Millennium Falcon. Could be a Chewbacca. There's a lot of things coming out, and some of these are substantiated. These are substantiated rumors. Keep that in mind. Nothing is written in stone until we see it. So take with that what you will, but these are substantiated industry people rumors that are coming out and telling us you're probably going to see this or this could happen. So I am very excited for it. I want to hear what you guys think too. I think it's cool enough that we're going to get Grogu back. But if we can get Luke, maybe even a young Ben Solo, maybe the rest of the young Jedi training, like it's that time frame, and it would be interesting to see where it goes. But the way it's talking now is if we do see everybody show up, especially Han and everything, they could be going to help Boba Fett. This could be him building his army because we only have 2 more episodes left. 2 episodes of Book of Boba Fett left. And I got to tell you, it's been a slow start. Until episode 5, it has not been the greatest. But it's going to be exciting to see if they turn this around and you bring in all of these faces. And if that happens, we're going to see some fun things go along. So have you heard the rumors? What do you guys think? It'd be exciting to see. Any Star Wars fan would be excited to see any of this stuff and more. But what do you guys think ultimately? I think we're at least going to see Luke. It would make sense that we're going to see Luke. We've already seen Luke on the show. And if we're going to see Grogu, here's where I'm at. He's going to go see him. He's going to give him his armor. There's gonna have to be some strife there in some way, shape, or form. It's not going to fall within the Jedi world. But I don't know that we're going to see them go help Boba Fett. I think there's a big rumor out there. Oh, we could see Han. We could see Chewie. Now, listen. Chrysanthemum and Chewbacca back-to-back fighting. That would be awesome. That would be very cool. Boba Fett and Han Solo coming face-to-face. That would be amazing. Seeing the Millennium Falcon in any way, shape, or form. Truly brilliant. But I don't know. That's a lot. That's a tall order. Now, this show has a lot of backing to it. It's not small clout that they have. Robert Rodriguez is no slouch. He's not a young filmmaker that's come into play. In Jon Favreau writing a lot of these episodes. The guy built MCU. Let's be real. What's going on, man? All right. Hello. Just here to say hello and have a good day, a good year, and a good life. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for stopping by and saying that. That's very sweet of you. Appreciate it. Hit that like button, though. I really appreciate that, too. That helps. If you guys don't know, that helps in such huge ways. Just to hit that like button over on YouTube. Puts our videos out there a little bit more for people to find and see. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to build it all. So I appreciate you jumping in and doing that. The skeptic in me comes about and says, I can't see them doing that. I can't see them even if everybody, the world's aligned and everybody was like, yeah, we'll come back for it. Why not? Let's do this. Let's have fun for this one episode of Boba Fett. Or maybe even 2, if we're lucky. But that's like, That's everything. That's throwing everything at us. And as fans, I don't know that I can handle that. It'd be so huge. It'd be so epic. What do you do with that? So I don't know where to go with it. I mean, seeing Luke say, hold my beer to some of the best hallway scenes on the planet. Like, in my opinion, the hallway scenes as they go was Daredevil season 1. Only slightly just as close. That first season, this hallway scene was amazing. And then their staircase scene was really good too in Daredevil season 2. Really good. But it's like a hair less than the hallway scene. And then you have Darth Vader walk in Rogue One and just be like, hold my beer, taking care of business. And it was truly amazing. And then somehow on The Mandalorian, we got Luke completely toppling all of those because it was just beautiful and brilliant. This would be the geek thing. This would be the thing that fans step in and say, it doesn't get any better. I mean, we just saw 3 Spider-Men on screen together. The things they're saying about Doctor Strange 2 are so epic that it's not even fathomable to a lot of us geeks. We listen to it and we say, I don't think this is the case. I don't think this can happen. I don't think my brain can marry all of these wonderful characters coming back together. And they were all from different universes. So if you're going to tell me that 3 movies couldn't put Han and Luke in the same room together, but Boba Fett would, and then you add Chewbacca, and then you add a young Ben Solo, then you put the Millennium Falcon in there, and then you have Mandalorian, Boba Fett, everything else, all joined in. Like, that's a lot for me to try and figure out within my braindom, and I don't know that I could do it. But we will find out at 3 a.m. tomorrow when the show appears. At least I will on the East Coast. And, well, we all will, actually, because it's 3 a.m. here. It's 12 a.m. in Pacific. So I don't know what I'm saying. But I am saying that if this happens, my mind might explode. And will yours? I feel like it should. I feel like ours all should if this happens. This collective in Star Wars comes together. Something we haven't seen together since 1983, I think it was. And then add Mandalorian, who's just brilliant. But, I mean, he's going to have to learn how to use the Blacksaber, and he's going to need that advice from a Jedi. What better Jedi? So let's see what you guys are saying. Jason Taylor says, I know Harrison had a lot of fun doing the JJ movies, so it would make sense if he popped up. It does. He did like it. And that's why he came back when JJ came back to the role. But my brain can't fathom the fact that this might occur. Can you? Can your brain, your geek brains, truly fathom that a TV show might give us this? If you told me a year ago that Boba Fett and Han Solo will be on screen together again, I'd be like, no way. And trust me, it makes logical sense within the story. It would be great for them to see each other. I mean, come on. It's Boba Fett. The man took Han. He took Han from his the loves of his life, his best friend in Leia. It will be epic to see them go face to face again. And then Han probably helping him. I mean, they did almost kill the man. So, I don't know. I'm super excited for it. I think it's going to end up going really well. I think we're going to at least get Luke. Which, if we only get Grogu and we only get Luke, that's a hell of a thing. And for a show that, let's face facts, first 4 episodes was pretty lackluster. Good show, but lackluster. To do this in the last 2 episodes would be epic scale. And that's why I felt I needed to talk about it. I needed to bring it up. And this isn't going to be a very long episode because, again, I still have 2 shows to do tonight, and it's going to be a lot going on. And I have a million TikTok things I got going on. So make sure you follow over at TikTok, too. Oh, real quick before I get to the next topic. So we still got a contest going on. We've reached our goal for TikTok, and that pop has already been sent and given away, and we appreciate the winner of that doing it. Now, once we get to 500 subscribers here on TikTok, speak of the devil, we will be giving one lucky subscriber this Mandalorian pop. You know, it's Mando with Grogu. It's a very cool little pop. I have it behind me on my Star Wars shelf, the same. So it is very cool. I like it a lot. And one lucky winner will take it home. So we do need to reach 500, though. I think we're at 275. So we're more than halfway there. Tell your friends. Share on Facebook. Share on Twitter. Share on Instagram. Say, check out the Scene Snobs. Say, hey, have you heard the show? I know you've heard of my show if you have your own show, because everybody has their own show now. And that's fine, too. I watch a lot of them and I like them. So tell people, just be like, hey, I know a good show. You should subscribe to them. They're pretty cool. But enough self-promotion. I'm not very good at it. Here we go. The Batman is on track to make huge numbers. The numbers are still kind of fluctuating right now. It's going to be pretty epic to see where it goes. But the projection is that it could probably do better than No Way Home. Now, tickets go on sale February 10th at midnight. Now, if you remember, we did a live show on the ticket sales for Spider-Man No Way Home on Spider Monday, right after Thanksgiving. We did a live show that Sunday night. I will be doing a live show starting the 9th and purchasing my tickets as soon as midnight strikes. I don't know what the frenzy is going to be on this. But with all of everything I'm hearing, it's going to be huge. People are really amped up for the Batman. I was not that amped up for it. I think I got tossed and turned into the whirlwind that was Spider-Man for so long. And then after that, it was like a coming down period. And you know, I like Scream. I like a lot of movies that have been coming out, but I haven't really been amping back up. I've been kind of getting back into the Marvel realm. That the Batman has kind of surpassed me a little bit, but I've started taking notice. That scene that they put out, the funeral scene, really hooked me, and I will be getting my tickets. And of course, I'm going to be seeing an opening, trying to see it before opening day, so that way I can do my review, so you guys can check that out. But I will tell you, the more I get into it, the more stoked I am. And in a year where we are getting, you can't really see it, but it's there, the 89 Batmobile back in our eye sockets so we can see it on the flash, we are getting another very cool looking Batmobile. And I saw this thing up close because I saw the model over at Walmart. It looks very cool. I am super stoked. It looks for the screen. Are you guys excited for the Batman? What are you guys most anticipating? Are you guys going to get tickets? Are you going to see opening weekend? How are you going to do it? I know for me, I'll be there. I am very excited for it. See where it goes. The Batman looks awesome. Robert Pattinson's going to kill it. I truly believe that. But even when I wasn't that excited for the movie, I truly believed he was going to make a good Batman. I like Robert Pattinson. I always liked him as an actor. So sound off. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys know about what's going on. And what do you think about Mandalorian coming back? What do you think about the possibility of Grogu, Luke Skywalker, and maybe more coming back? Do you think it's going to fix where Boba Fett has been lately? Do you think it's not going to fix it? Let me tell you, another big announcement is Encanto right now has like the biggest music out there. It's like number one everywhere. We don't talk about Bruno. It's like the number one song everywhere right now. And let me tell you, I am down with it. Encanto's music is amazing. So, but I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about it. Give me a sec. All right, there we go. Let me get my thing up. Click off of it. There we go. Okay. All right. So I'm telling you, there's something big's going to happen when I keep wanting to call it Mandalorian. I keep wanting to call it The Mandalorian But of course, it's Boba Fett, the Book of Boba Fett. Something big's going to happen with the Big of Boba Fett, the Book of Boba Fett. I need to watch it. Add it to my list for the week. Encanto? You should watch it. Move it up higher on the list. It's worth it. It's that good of a movie. It's probably one of the best animated films they've put out in a long time. And listen, I love Moana. It's Disney. They know what they're doing. But this is a great movie. So rumors like this, when it comes to terms like TV show like this, like Boba Fett, they don't start spreading because fans are just hopeful. Like these are getting written about. And these are getting written about by people who know what they're talking about. And now that doesn't mean they can't be embellished or exaggerated. Of course, anybody can get a little too far. Speculation goes a little too far. I do it here. But when it starts getting written about, something is going to happen. And like I said, even if Grogu shows up, that's going to be a huge deal. And you're not going to get Grogu without Luke Skywalker. It makes no sense. And I am super excited to see Luke Skywalker at least show up. But if you throw Han Solo in there, I'm sorry, if the man, even if he's de-aged or whatever, if you throw him in there, I am in. I am in on the Book of Boba Fett 100% because I need those two face to face. It's going to be beautiful. Now, my only issue really with the Book of Boba Fett is they have not built up. They have not shown Boba Fett be this complete badass we know he can be. Like Casey brought up a good point on Geek Fest Live the other night when he was on. How does a guy with a jetpack not know how to get over shields when he's surrounded? And that's true. How does that happen? And it shouldn't have happened, but it did. Then you got, but going forward, like you have, like it hasn't been built up. The war has just been known to have been coming. There have been some conniving people. There have been people telling him, like, we don't respect you. But really, there's been no real build up to this war. Like, all they've been saying is that it's coming. And I'm excited for it. I'm excited if we get what we are being told we might get. So that's where we're at. Again, back to Batman, though, real quick. Do you think Batman is on track to be bigger than No Way Home? I mean, it's the weird thing when it comes to Batman is whenever he ultimately reinvents himself every so often, every few years, even his sequels do well. Even his sequels are huge, and now we know Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, Dark Knight Rises. There's not always great sequels. They don't always happen. Batman versus Superman, but they're still huge. They still make the numbers. So the Batman, with everything they've been showing us, how it toes that line between the realistic feel and gritty feel of Nolan's Batman, mixed with what they're trying to do in the DCEU, with still keeping within a gritty Batman, but closer to the comic books in terms of characters and things like that. Do you think that it's going to be a huge success? I think it might. I think Batman is one of those heroes that can pull him out. Let's see what Jason says. It's a darker movie, so it does get bigger than No Way Home. I'd be surprised. If it does get bigger than No Way Home, you'd be surprised. It's probably less watchability for kids, but us nerds will show up, so maybe. Fair. Yeah, that's a good point, too. Like, Spider-Man No Way Home was darker, had darker elements to it, but it definitely opened things up to more towards kids. Like, I was even able to bring my 5-year-old, and he sat and enjoyed it the whole way through. But that Aunt May scene messed him up a little bit. He was nervous. So it's, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's quite there for, you're right. With that, I don't know that it's going to be that huge. What I would really like to see, personally, are these movies come out and just demolish this Avatar 2. I have no interest. I had no interest in Avatar when it came out, let alone 13 years later, Avatar 2. So, and I know that a lot of people are pumping, mostly in the industry, are pumping up Avatar 2 to be like the biggest movie of all time. And I truly do not want to see that happen. It is still, in my opinion, an anomaly that Titanic and Avatar held on to those spots for so long. And then in such a short period of time, it seems like these spots are getting demolished by like Marvel, you know. So it's one of those things where it's like I don't want to, and it's not that I don't like James Cameron. I do. I like him a lot, but when you take 13 years to make a sequel to a movie, when you could have made a lot more movies besides that, I'm just not all that interested. Just Taylor says, does anyone care about Avatar 2 anymore? I mean, the first movie was fine, and I'm sure 2 will be fine, but it's not something I'm super excited about. I don't think it's that the fans are super excited about it. I think there's a lot of people who are James Cameron heads that are excited about it, but the industry is very excited about it. Anytime James Cameron makes a move, the industry really tries to push for it to be successful. And I get that. But it's the same industry that gives no accolades to comic book movies. You know, it's the same people. Like Avatar 2 will be huge in the Academy. Not this year, but next year it will be huge in the Academy. And that's why it's coming out later. And that's what they want. They want their golden boy. And again, James Cameron is one of their golden boys. When he makes a movie, it's huge. And they want that. They want to be able to say, this is what Hollywood can do. And it's not. What Hollywood can do is so much more than that. And you're giving no respect to everything else. I still don't understand why superhero movies are so shit on by Hollywood overall. Like when it comes to awarding them anything, but they're basically paying your rent, in your studios. AJ, what's going on, my friend? How you doing, buddy? AJ, one of our new moderators over on the Scene Snobs Discord. So if you guys are interested, head over to thescenesnobs.com. There is a link you can join. It is free. Please join in and join the Discord. Join the conversation. We're talking about things all the time. It's a lot of fun. And keep in mind, hit that like button here on the YouTube channel. It's a big help. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to us. We really appreciate it. If you're watching anywhere else, we are normally on YouTube. But I think that these little things, these impromptu lives where I am giving out updates or rumors, things like that, we're going to go everywhere. But make sure to head over to the YouTube channel and hit subscribe. Yes, 100%. Patrick Stewart was robbed a Best Actor nomination for Logan. I won't fight you on that. He absolutely was. He should have been Best Supporting Actor. Now, let's be real. Give him Best Supporting. Hugh Jackman did a great job too. Hugh Jackman did a beautiful, lovely job in that role. And it's a culmination of all of his work for over 20 years. And it's funny because I would love to see him come back, and he's rumored to be in Doctor Strange 2. And I mean, listen, Hugh Jackman still looks great. He could pull off the role. It would be great to see Wolverine. But I just think that it's, it was such a beautiful ending. It's so beautiful that I hate to see it go. Like, and that's the thing. Like, where's Batman, James Bond, things like that? Like, Daniel Craig's James Bond was beautiful. At the end, that was a beautiful ending and a send off to his James Bond. I'm not going to give anything away. Sorry, just in case anybody hasn't checked it, but that's why you recast every so often. That's why it needs to be somebody new every so often, so you don't say that character is on. That's why Robert Pattinson will be successful in the Batman role. That's why people would love to see Ben Affleck come back, because the guys who play Batman aren't bad, except George Clooney, aren't bad, but it's too much. Like when you keep one character, it's too much. You kind of put all your life into it. And I think that's the problem they're having with Black Panther right now. They don't want to recast. They want to put a new character in there. It makes no sense to me. I love Chadwick Boseman. I think he was one of the best actors acting in our time right now. Up until he passed, I think he was one of the absolute best actors all around. But he played him a few times. You know, how many times did he ultimately play Black Panther? Winter Soldier. No, I'm sorry, Civil War, not Winter Soldier. My apologies. Civil War, Black Panther, and the Infinity War, and Endgame. And let's be real, he wasn't in it a whole lot. Like, you take all the time he had in everything but Black Panther. Now, in the What If series, of course, the What If series, which I do not discount at all. You take all the time, and it's probably comes to about the same amount of time he was in Black Panther. So maybe like 2 full movies worth of time. And I loved him in the role, and I thought he did perfect in the role. But now is the time to recast. Now is the time to move on to somebody new, so that character can live on however you want him to live on. And that's not to take anything away from Shuri becoming Black Panther or anything like that. I mean, there's enough political controversy going on there that it's becoming a nuisance. And it's coming from quite a few of the actors. Now, I may not agree with you politically, but when it comes to, you know, this and shutting down productions over and over again because there's issues of this, that, and the other thing, you gotta recast. You just gotta recast. You gotta recast anybody who's giving problems or anybody who can't be there. And unfortunately, Chadwick had passed away, and that's sad, and I love Chadwick, but recast, give another actor that chance to star in a role. And if actors are giving you tough times, like Evangeline Lilly, who I love as the Wasp. I think she's a great Wasp. And Letitia Wright, who is great as Shuri. But if they're causing issues, now, if they're not causing issues, I'm not saying like, oh, I don't know. I'm not behind scenes. But if they are, and things have been coming up about them causing issues, and their political, leanings and things like that, and their feelings on certain issues have been causing issue, then it's time to recast. And a lot of people can get mad about that, but when it came down to money and they got rid of Terrence Howard, nobody batted an eye. Everybody liked Don Cheadle. And I love Don Cheadle. I'm so glad he came, but I thought Terrence Howard was great too. And all he wanted was a little more money. Ultimately, I mean, it caused a spat, but ultimately he wanted more money for the sequel. And arguably, he was the bigger star in that first movie than Robert Downey Jr. because Robert Downey Jr.'s star was very much faded. So I kind of get when you go back into a sequel and you're renegotiating and it's like, hey, you're going to make this amount now, but he's making this amount, you're kind of arguing it. Well, because that movie, I hear a lot of people say Robert Downey Jr., the MCU owes everything to Robert Downey Jr. They owe a lot. He did great. He did exactly and more what he needed to do. But in reality, the MCU is carried upon the back of everyone who worked on that movie. And not just Robert Downey Jr. It's getting Gwyneth Paltrow, Jon Favreau, especially, I would say Jon Favreau more so. Kevin Feige jumping in and working on it. And so many more that Robert Downey Jr. owes a great debt to them fighting for him to be in it. Because again, nobody wanted to touch him. And if, honestly, you want to be technical, Mel Gibson had part in that too. A lot of people don't understand. Before he was in a slew of movies, and The Singing Detective was one of those movies that started shining a light on Robert Downey Jr. during his recovery again. And the studio wouldn't even put up the insurance for Robert Downey Jr. to be in the movie. They thought it would be too much of a problem. They didn't believe that he was truly recovering. And Mel Gibson directed that movie and put the money up for the insurance himself. Said, I don't want anybody else but Robert Downey Jr. because he wanted to give him another shot. And they were friends from Air America and early on. So that propelled him. Jon Favreau saw that, liked him, met with him. And from there, I mean, look at it. And I'm happy for him. And I'm so glad he's Iron Man. He'll always be, like, you can have variants, and I'm cool with that too. But he is Iron Man to me. He's the perfect Iron Man. He made that character who before that movie was not that popular. Now, I've been reading comic books my whole life. I don't think I've ever read an Iron Man comic before then. I've read team-ups with Iron Man. I've read Iron Man in the Avengers and in other things, but not like a set Iron Man comic. He just wasn't my hero. I knew more about him from watching the cartoon in the 90s, which was a really good cartoon, and it's up on Disney Plus. You should check it out if you haven't. And they touched down on a lot of things like the alcoholism and stuff like that. So it's really well done. But going back, that character's popularity is directly attributed to Robert Downey Jr., in my opinion. That was him. You see him now, even in the comics, the way they draw him and he looks, it's Robert Downey Jr. And that I will attribute to Robert Downey Jr. pretty much solely, is like who Iron Man is now everywhere. And the popularity of that character is all Robert Downey Jr. But the MCU owes a great deal to the people who worked on Iron Man, not just one person. Now, the reason I bring this up is because I don't think you could ever replace Iron Man. He played it for too long, and they gave him an out. He's out. He's done. I don't think they should ever bring him back. Don't sully it. Just leave it alone. Same with Logan, with Hugh Jackman as Logan. I don't care. In fact, if you really want to, and this is my true honest opinion, if you really wanted to do something interesting and be able to introduce a new Wolverine, somebody else playing Wolverine, you do it in Doctor Strange too. You cast somebody as Wolverine, not somebody you're going to keep being Wolverine. You cast somebody else as Wolverine, give them a small little bit, but give them lines, give them to play the character. You see somebody new, maybe a big celebrity, play Wolverine, and then we are more accepting of a younger actor playing Wolverine going forward in the MCU. With all that being said, it's time to move on with other characters. It's time to start recasting. It's time to start getting back on track and figuring out what we're going to do, because we need more of everyone. Now, let's go to the comments, because that's what this show is. Jason Taylor, I saw a rumor Edward Norton being in Strange, not from a reputable source. Would they do that, you think, or bring in Terrence Howard? I don't think Terrence Howard, there's a lot of bad blood. I don't think he'll ever be back. So no, I don't think they'll ever bring him back. It would be cool if they did, but then it wouldn't make too much sense. Actually, I take that back. Don't bring him back, because he did play the main MCU Rhodey. And Rhodey's getting his own show soon in Armor Wars. I just wouldn't touch on it. I would just leave it alone and just let it go. Let that recast be a recast. I really wouldn't touch down on the recast too much. And I'm a little weary when it comes to Edward Norton, because he was still the same MCU Hulk. Now, with AJ's next comment, I will say this. I have heard the Edward Norton rumor, though. That is one I've heard, but I'm not sure. I want Norton back as Maestro Hulk. That would be awesome. Now, let me tell you why. Why does that break exactly what I just said of don't touch the recast? Because Maestro Hulk isn't a Hulk we're getting in the MCU. He's not going to show up down the line. It's not going to happen. So Maestro Hulk being so different in who he is, yes, bring back Edward Norton to play that part. That would be really interesting, in my opinion. And I would love to see it. Also, I think the look would work for him. Because remember, those Hulks looked very different. And those Hulks, that's a design. Like the little like extra skin at the bottom, on Mark Ruffalo's, whereas you look at Edward Norton's Hulk and it's just jacked all the way through because he's a thin dude. It matches their bodies. But he was in a suit. They both were. They were both in skin tight suits. So there was no extra to put there. That was a design choice. And I like how they did that. And if you really want to be technical, Edward Norton's physique would lend itself better to Edward Norton's Hulk physique will lend itself better to Maestro. I don't know why I'm talking about this, kind of getting crazy. Let him be the voice of the suit in Ironheart. No. Nope, 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 nope. And just in case I didn't come forth and come clear, no. RDJ needs to be done. RDJ needs to be done. I don't even want an AI. Maybe a message. Maybe a message. Fine. But he needs to just not be back. I know everybody wants him back. Everybody misses him. I think everybody misses Steve Rogers and Tony Stark as played by Chris Evans and RDJ because they're scared. We all are. It's new. It's almost like losing grandparents. Trust me, I have 4 times experience in this. It's like losing grandparents. If a pair of grandparents that you really care about pass away, you get nervous because it's like, you know that it was their time, but what does like life look like without them? And I feel like the 2 of them being gone, what does life look like in the MCU without them? And I think that was a fear from Far From Home on. What is this world going to look like without them? Am I going to like it? Am I going to appreciate it? They were the ones that held my hand as I walked in the door. It's going to be fun. It's going to be okay. Even if they bring Chris Evans back as Old Man Steve or Human Torch and Doctor Strange 2, which is a rumor, or anything else, it'll be fun. But RDJ, what he did at the end, I mean, really, I heard it put very funny way. All Steve really did was bolt on his friends and go back and hang out with a woman that he kissed once. I thought that was really fun. That's why I bring it up. But if he comes back, fine. But RDJ, his sacrifice should never be sullied. Maybe. And if he was going to come back in just a voice or an AI, it should have been with Peter Parker. Should have been with Peter Parker, that in my opinion. If not, like Rhodey, which I still don't think, because he got the AI message at the end. Happy the same. Pepper, Morgan, but they all got that message. He left them a specific special message, and we saw it, and it was touching. Leave it alone. It's done. I don't think it needs to be touched on anymore. Tony Stark is the voice of the suit in the comics. I understand. That's comic books. You cannot hold true to comic books in the MCU. The formats are too different. You know, let's face facts. The Infinity Gauntlet saga in the comics is way different than what happened in the movies, and it had to be. Everything had to build, and there was no build up to it. It just happened. They went back and they retconned a lot, but really when that came out, it was just kind of like, oh man, he's got the Infinity Gems. Let's go stop him because half of us are gone already and we didn't even know this was happening. Very different. I don't need that. I don't need to know what's in the comics. I'm fine with it. I don't want Tony Stark back. I don't want him to be in the suit. I want to appreciate the sacrifice he made and leave it there. Let's see. Well, Steve Rogers isn't dead. I would only want RDJ back as the voice, no physical appearance. I don't want him back in any way. Maybe just a message, just a quick message. I know about that. I make the comic movie argument all the time. It's so different. And it's a good different because movies and comic books cannot be told in the same way. AJ says, I would love to see Ultron somehow hack the Ironheart suit. That could be awesome. We need, and I know a lot of people disagree, but we need an Ultron reappearance in some way. Maybe not as powerful. Now he's cut off. Let's keep him cut off from the world in terms of, let's make him one entity where he can't really control anything anymore, but he can still be a powerful source. And then have him be a bad guy on Ironheart. That would be really cool. Jason Taylor agrees with everything I say. He even says that you should watch the Scene Snobs tonight at 9. Yes, bring back Spader. Absolutely. I'm fine with Spader coming back. I don't give a shit about that. We just need James Spader. He'll come back. You pay anybody the right amount of money, they're coming back. Even RDJ. You pay him enough money, he'll be against it. You pay him the money, he'll come back. Hey, RDJ, you want to make these 10 movies? We'll bankroll them all. Just come back. But don't. But let's not do that. Let's just leave it alone. So I've been going on for about 45 minutes. We barely talked about Batman. But the Batman is going to be, I think, a huge release. So make sure February 9th, I'm probably around 11 p.m. I'm going live to follow the ticket sales. It's like a pre-show before we get in, and then we're going to see if we can get tickets quickly or if it ends up being like Spider-Man. We'll find out. So make sure you jump in for that if you were up late and get ready to get your tickets as well. We got dump trucks of Disney money speaks volumes. That's true. That is very true. And they always will. But I think even Kevin Feige knows like what works and what doesn't. Watch the Scene Snobs tonight, 9 p.m. Yes, 9 p.m. Eastern tonight here on the YouTube channel. If you're watching anywhere else right now, go check out the YouTube channel. Follow us at the Scene Snob. Go to thescenesnobs.com. We have links everywhere. But yeah, make sure to check it out. Go check out the Discord as well. Glad you brought that up. That's why he's a moderator and he's better at this than I am. Join up on the Discord. Let's have some fun. I'm trying to build it up, and we have some really fun geek conversations there anyway, but we need to get more people in. There's channels for everything: horror, sci-fi, collectibles, and everything else in between. Or just join in a general and have no conversation. Let's start up the talk. So make sure you join up. It's a lot of fun. It's free to join up. Go to thescenesnobs.com. There's a link right there. You can join in. Or if you want to, just message me and I'll send you a link. No problem. Come in, have an invite, and let's just do it. Share whatever you want there. Just keep it fun. Keep it not professional, but clean. Let's have a good time with it. We don't want to get it too crazy. But we will talk about almost all things geek. So let's have fun with it. AJ is keeping a good lookout and invite your friends. Tell your friends to join in too. Let's build this up together. Jason Taylor and the Patreon. Yes, we are on Patreon. There's lots of exclusives. So you get 24 hours early exclusive, sometimes more on all of our recorded stuff. We have a new show that's going to be coming out soon, which is Unpopular Opinions and Theories within movies, TV shows, geek, all things, everything. So that's going to be coming soon. And the first episode is going to be about Anakin Skywalker. Second episode is going to be about Thor. They are recorded. I just have to edit them. And they will be coming out. Now, I don't think it's going to be a weekly series, but it will be on the YouTube channel. So you can make sure you subscribe and check that out. But it will be up on Patreon first, of course. You can check that out there. Also, we are implementing a new perk for anybody who joins the Patreon. For Geek Fest Live, if you have a topic you want to see discussed, you just bring it. If you're a Patreon member, you tell us what you want, and we will talk about it. And we will go live and talk about it. Maybe not right at that moment, but we will go live and talk about your topic. All right. So with that, the Scene Snobs only fans, watch Mick cosplay as Thor. Listen. If you'll pay, I'll do it. Even if you won't pay, I'll still do it. No. I always thought it would be funny to do an OnlyFans, but then put out a video of me reading like new comic books to you guys, like continue the storyline. If not OnlyFans, like on the Patreon or something, that would be really fun. Let me know what you think, maybe. And also my wife keeps joking with me about doing the cameos. Get a cameo from Mick Manhattan. And why? Just ask yourself why you're doing that. But anyway, I am not that important. I promise you, I'm not trying to make it out that way. I'm just more kidding. But the Patreon's real. Discord's real. We're all over. Instagram is our collectibles page and our reels. TikTok, we're always doing fun stuff. Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Pinterest. You name it, we're on there. So, seriously, look at we're on there. So join up, be a part of the conversation, become a friend. That's what it's all about. The snobs are friends. We all appreciate you. I am going to play the end roll because I don't have much more to say, but I love you guys. And I will talk to you guys tonight. Later. Thanks for watching and listening, everybody. I'm the Scene Snob, Mick Manhattan. You can check out Scene Snobs Podcast live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern on our YouTube channel or all podcast platforms afterwards. Also on our YouTube channel, you can check out great shows like Real Combat, the ultimate debate show for movie lovers, mixed movie picks with new recommendations every week, Geek Fest live every Sunday night, and new movie reviews and news all the time. Like and subscribe, then hit the notification bell so you know when all of our new episodes drop. Thank you so much to all of our amazing Patreon supporters, with whom this would not be possible. They help keep the lights on and support us in such big ways. If you would like to become a supporter on our Patreon and take advantage of all the perks like monthly giveaways, early access, and so much more, head on over to the Scene Snobs Patreon page and just sign up on one of our 2 tiers. Join our awesome community of geeks, movie lovers, and so much more, and join up on our Discord. The Scene Snobs Discord is now live, and you can head over to thescenesnobs.com for links to there and more. The Scene Snobs merch store is now open with original fun designs that are available on all different types of merch and apparel. Check out thescenesnobsmerch.com. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to all of our social media accounts like TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and so many more. We have fun updates, topics, we talk about collectibles, and so much more on there. It's a great time. You can find all of our links to everything on thescenesnobs.com or on our link tree, which are down in the descriptions below. Thanks again, everyone. Stay tuned and stay geeky.